Hi there, this is Galen Martling. Today I'm sharing Unity Stamp Company's stamps and dies and paper. And so I'm going to show how I built this scene. It has a sweet Winnie the Pooh stamp. It's called Special Like You, and it's made in red rubber stamps by Unity Stamp Company. And so I'm sharing how I built this card, and here are all the different elements I use. So for the stamping, I have the Winnie the Pooh Special Like You. Then I have heart-to-heart stamps. Those are the little hearts I'm going to add at the end. Scallops and Squares nesting dies, and Rustic Farmhouse 6x6 paper pack, all by Unity. And so I'm going to go ahead and use white cardstock, and I stamped with black hybrid ink or alcohol-friendly ink before the coloring was done. So I chose Copic markers for color, but use what you have. Just make sure your ink is compatible with whatever markers or color medium you use. And so I go ahead and use several different markers for each color family, and I alternate them often. Sometimes I go 1 or 2 times around again with the ink blending just to blend it all together. So I have this handy zero marker, which is a colorless blender that I love to use to correct my mistakes and also to help with the blending process, to help with the harsh lines if you don't want them there. So you just go over and over again. In this case, I did it for each thing I colored here. I'm also going to make a nice background using the Copic markers. I'll show you how I do that in a minute. There I use the colorless blender to help with giving some highlights to that blue. Then I go over it again with some lighter blue just to blend that in. And I just love this scene. I really especially love the sentiments that come in it. So I have one sentiment that I stamped underneath the scene and another sentiment that's going to be layered at the top on a different panel. And so you go ahead and you finish all of your elements with the coloring. And then when you're finished with that, you want to get your colors that you're going to use for the background, and you make some swipes of color side to side. I used a marker, a fine liner marker on one of the black lines there to make sure that it was clear and nice and visible. I think I erased a little bit of that in my coloring process, but I fixed it. And so there you go. You just make some swipes in the background. It makes sort of a sunset, very soft sky. It looks like maybe there's clouds in there, but I wanted something soft, but yet rustic that would match this background. So this background paper is wonderful. It has patterns on it already, so I didn't really have to add too much. I just layered the square scene, and also I added that sentiment layer at the top with some twine, and the hearts I cut out and fussy cut them and colored them and added them along with some adhesive gems and some cording just to finish off this sweet scene. Thanks so much for watching. Please take a moment to subscribe to my channel, like and share if you will, and have a wonderful day.